Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
This is also a Lenovo. This is their new Chromebook, and like Lenovo has been known for, the Yoga is famous for being a bendy. This one doesn't go all the way over. It only goes to, but the idea is this would be a stand mode. And when you do this, of course, it flips around. So the orientation is right for the screen. You see how it flips upside down? So that's kind of neat. I mean, and then you get a real keyboard. This is a Chromebook running Google Chrome's OS, which I don't need to tell you about. Everybody by now understands that essentially that's an online operating system that features all of Google's apps and services.
I love Chrome OS.
I think Chrome OS is great for a student.
Yeah.
Jeff Jarvis, our host on This Week in Google, has essentially said, I don't need a computer anymore. I only need a Chromebook. And it's true for most of what you do. If it's surfing, email, he was a writer. He can write even simple spreadsheets and presentations. You can do that all using Google Apps and the Chromebook. There are lots of app extensions. I don't need to go into great detail. Really, the question people are always saying is, well, which Chromebook should I get? Like all Chromebooks, this is very affordable. This is a little more expensive than the one I currently like the best, which is the Acer C720. But there's a reason for it. This is $329. It has a Celeron processor, 16 gigs of storage, 2 gigs of DDR3 RAM. Battery life, they claim 8 hours. I'm more like 6 hours. It's not a super long battery life. But here's the reason it's a little bit more expensive. It's a touch screen. Now, there aren't a whole lot of touch screens in the Chromebook world. So having a touch...
They should all be that, in my opinion. After having the Pixel, I feel like it really comes in handy.
That's the main one, is the Google's own reference implementation, which is very expensive, the Pixel. But I also feel like Chrome OS isn't designed for touch exactly. A lot of the targets are very small, you know, and there's no real way to make them bigger. The biggest problem I have with this is the screen. This is what they call a TN screen, the older form of twisted pneumatic screens, not an IPS LCD. And that means, and you can even see it here, it's washed out, especially at off-angle viewing. It just doesn't look great. They may, you know, they do that because they need to cut the cost, but you're already seeing one of the big problems. I had this problem a little bit with the Pixel, but I have it a lot with this. This machine does not have enough RAM and enough processor to really, well, I hate to say it, it's doing pretty well right now. But I found a lot of hesitation on this. I've always done the Verge test, which is a very challenging website, a lot of images. I find that if you've got a lot of tabs open, it slows down, and if it's anything graphics heavy, it slows down. And the hesitation, much like that Yoga, gets to you after a while. On the other hand, Lenovo's famous for their keyboards, and this has an excellent keyboard for a Chromebook. It's kind of Mac-ish feel, that short throw embedded keys. A pretty good trackpad as well. So, you know, it's a nicely spec'd Chromebook for a little bit more with touch. It unfortunately uses the Lenovo proprietary power adapter, so you've got to have that SD card slot, a couple of USB ports, one 2.0, one 3.0, and HDMI, mini HDMI out to finish it up. AC 802.11 AC Wi-Fi. You know, on the surface, there's a lot to like about this. I don't think at that price point it's the best Chromebook out there, and I'm very interested with the successor that Lenovo is going to ship to this, which will have a better screen. It will be able to lie flat. It'll have a tablet capability. Now, that'll be more expensive. Lenovo's next Chromebook is going to be one of the mid-range Chromebooks that we've all been hoping for in the $500 range. So you get more RAM. I really think Chromebooks need 4 gigs of RAM. With 2 gigs, it just bogs down when you open up a lot of tabs. When you use it the way you're most likely going to want to use this. So pros and cons. I like it that it's touch. It's a nice keyboard. It's a pretty good trackpad. It's a great price, as always with all Chromebooks. The price is excellent. And you know, everybody knows the benefits and features of Chrome OS, so I don't really need to explain how good that is. On the con side, there is hesitation, and you see when I scroll through this spreadsheet, you see the jumping, which is really quite annoying after a while. Don't pay any attention to that strobing you're seeing. That's just because our cameras are interacting with a refresh rate on that. But it isn't a great screen. That's my other con. It should be. I would like to see a little bit better screen on this. In my opinion, there are less expensive Chromebooks that are probably a better buy for you. So I'm going to mark this a do not buy. Also because you may want to wait until the next Acer, the 13-inch, comes out with the Tegra K1 chip. That's supposedly going to be a lot faster, and it has 4 gigs. In fact, in general, I'd say if you want to use Chromebook, you're going to want 4 gigs of RAM. So I would say don't buy the N20P. It has some nice features, but you do want 4 gigs of RAM to use Chrome OS. Still, you got to admire these inexpensive. I mean, this is essentially at $350 netbook price.
It really is.
And it'd be great. It would be fine for a student. And given that it is the only inexpensive touchscreen that I know of in the Chromebook, this would probably be a choice if you need touchscreens. Otherwise, stay away. Get the Acers or wait for the next generation Lenovo Chromebook, which on the face of it looks to be quite good.